Hello, everybody. Got Jenny with her little Artie there that's been going nuts.
He's feeling better. He's all over his sinus infection he had.
You guys should have heard him. He was just meowing up a storm. He's going nuts. We got Johnny with us today. We were supposed to have Lori. If you guys are not subscribed, please check out Lori from The Way of Positive Change. She was supposed to be on tonight, but with us as a guest, but she had to cancel. So we're hoping to have her back soon.
She broke her foot and injured her hip. So,
Jenny. Jen.
Whoops, am I talking? She broke her foot and injured her hip, so put her in the healing circle.
Yes. So maybe when she's feeling better, we'll have her on the show. So we wanted to say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Even if you don't have kids, you probably got furry kids or plant kids or your mom. So Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. And anybody else have anything to address?
Quick happy birthday to CJ and Roberta and all the other Taurus people out there.
Yeah, it was Peanut's birthday Friday. My mom's on the 2nd of this month. And then my sister's coming up here in a couple of days on the 15th. So happy birthday, Tauruses. So,
well, I have to say, if anybody has not seen all the grand tableaus Becca did last week, go check them out. They're fascinating, full of information.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's start there with the grand tableaus. I did 2 grand tableaus in one night for Liz Cheney and then one for Kevin McCarthy. On the one for Liz Cheney lands in the line of fate outside of the tableau. She's not interacting with it. And Kevin McCarthy is way over her head, meaning he has rulership over her. Oh, there's Ona. Hi, Ona. And then in the tableau for Kevin McCarthy, it's switched. He's at the bottom, and Liz Cheney has dominion over him. So will Kevin McCarthy out Liz Cheney? Will they kick her out of her leadership position? Let's go there. I'm going to sit this one out since I already read. I'm just curious to see what you guys get.
Okay. Yeah, she's on her way out. It's on the bottom.
Thank you, Impish.
She is trapped and she is disgusted. But she's got friends that she's moving forward with. And her dad, who used to be in the White House, as well as President Bush, that used to be in the White House that he was VP under, and she's got corporate connections, donor connections. So she's going to be celebrating anyway, and we should do a deeper dive on that. I want to know why, because I think that came up in your grand tableau too. She's still got the upper hand somehow.
We also have Red Lentil Healing in the house. If you guys have not done so already, please check out her channel. She's doing some really groovy stuff over there. Thank you, Adrian. There she is, Red Lentil Healing. Check out her channel.
Adrian.
I get there is a bully tactic here, 5 of Swords and the Judgment card. So yes, and then it is crossed by the Devil and the Knight of Cups. It is going to be framed as something for her own good or for the party's good or blah, 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 blah. The dog and pony show, but this is what it really looks like. This is Knight of Cups is the card of wit and romance, and then this is the Devil. However, I think that you kind of opened the Pandora box on that one. This one unleashes a sort of a little mini war in the GOP, though, with the Ten of Swords and the Empress. Something new happens, and it causes a lot of trauma and loss. And it's persistent, the Chariot card. It goes on and on and on. And so I think kind of what happens is they come after her, they may get her, and then that takes the old heads who were in the GOP, the Bushes and the Cheneys in them, and then they come in and then they start to try to work their own little magic. And next thing you know, you got two sides fighting each other over power. So I think, yeah, they do, but they shouldn't. But they will.
Yeah, it's interesting because my American nostalgia card just fell out. You know what was really interesting, Becca? I have to bring this up. You kept picking up around Liz and Bush on Liz's grand tableau that she was talking to former President Bush because it was someone who was a veteran pilot, had served in the White House, was a painter. Yeah, you kept getting like paint. So we knew it was Bush. But you got that they were talking about death, someone who died. And I found it really interesting because his last uncle just passed away like the next day. So it was almost like a condolence call, so to speak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and it was weird because he only knighted to the birds. I had to knight him over there. And when I knighted him down, it was birds and then it was coffin. So I don't know if there's going to be a phone call. Like, I'm sorry for your, because that's Bush's uncle. It would be, correct? It would be his uncle. Yeah.
He was also the Bush that died. He was the father of Billy Bush from Access Hollywood that did the Trump. I grabbed him by the, you know what? Tape. That's his uncle or his father.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
That's because he's a cousin of George's.
Okay. So you wanted to take a deeper dive look into Liz Cheney.
Yeah. How is she going to get the upper hand? Because that was showing in your grand tableau that she somehow will come out on top anyway. How is she going to get the upper hand if she loses her position?
Well, that made it worse. Don't try without it. Don't be Magoo on this reading.
Oh, God.
Mr. Magoo.
Like, that's the 10 of Swords, I think. Oh, goodness.
How does she get the upper hand? Yeah, I got my America card on the bottom again. You know, there have been some polls that have been released recently, and one of them was stating that 80% of Americans are in support of the voting rights bills in Congress, and 75% are in support of the infrastructure bill and stuff. So everything these Republicans keep voting against, their constituents are for.
Yeah, kind of like how they voted against the stimulus package, but now they're taking credit for the stimulus package, even though they voted against it. Like, that's pretty hilarious. Oh, there's Lori. Hi, Lori. We were just telling them that Lori from the Way of Positive Change, we were just letting everybody know that you were going to be on with us tonight, but had to cancel. Thank you, Pam. Happy Mother's Day, Lori.
We put you in the healing circle, Lori.
Yes, we're going to put you in the healing circle, Lori.
Stop all that cage fighting.
Yeah.
What are you getting, Johnny?
I think it's the allies in the GOP, those who were there, who have been there forever and ever and ever. I get the Moon and the Eight of Pentacles to start with. This has something to do with her work or people who are connected to the GOP or who are connected to politics, basically. This is an open-ended thing, which means that there is a lot of stuff going on. It feels like a car or a big clock or something. Like there's a whole bunch of little bitty gears and moving parts with the moon. There's a bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes that McCarthy and a bunch of people have absolutely no idea what's happening. But it's in plain sight. It's just that they're not part of the old GOP, so they wouldn't recognize these in particular things. But there is something going on behind her that she may not even completely understand. She just she's related to people who got this kind of pull. They're going to bind the devil here, or bind the efforts of those who are against her. This is going to take some time, though, because I get the chariots, because this is an uphill battle. So this is all gears have to move at the same time to make whatever it is work. And so they are working on this. They are trying to defend, and they're also trying to stall for something else. It's probably 2024. So there's a whole bunch of stuff moving at the same time, but she ends with 3 of Cups for me, too. Whatever it is, she gets the upper hand, but she's got a bunch of people working behind the scenes.
Yeah, I get she, after losing her position of power, she has a new opportunity with both I get 2 things, with the donors and because of the courts. So she is ultimately secure crowning the reading, because money news is coming out. This will be after just a little while. So a little bit of a delay till the money news comes out. But that also flips everybody's perspective on what's going on, because there's steady money for trips and travel. And she's just sitting there doing her job, letting it all fall where it may. And she's working together with others. But justice is coming in, and that also changes everything. So future court cases. There's going to be some people. I get like Nancy Pelosi talking about cutting some people from the House, making them go away because of treasonous acts. So whether it's because of the insurrection or other things that they've done, or maybe some trips with underage people, there's just a plethora of opportunity to.
It's just like, I just get the sense that Kevin McCarthy is going to end up with pie on his face, and then he's going to be like, nothing happened. Look, we love Liz Cheney. You know what I mean? Like when you have because that's on my list of questions as well, the insurrectionist, So here's another question for you guys. What's going to happen to Kevin McCarthy for ousting Liz Cheney? Like, does the Bush wing of the party launch a quiet campaign against him? And kind of like a Lincoln Project thing, but a little bit quieter,
Kevin McCarthy, how's your future look? I have to say, he's going gray quicker. Have you noticed that? Like from last fall to now, he is totally gray now.
Mm-hmm.
He looked at Medusa and he didn't turn to stone, but he turned gray. He's a liar, which we all know, but he's a liar, a liar, a liar. he also has a new job that's burdening him right now. So even though he's Senate Minority Leader, he's doing something else on the side, and it's burdening him. And he's also burdened by the donors giving just a pittance of what they used to give. But he is also burdened about gifts of money and travel and an investigation into that gets off the ground. And then he's got the sword of truth after him. He's got courts after him. They're watching somebody that he did business with as well. We're going to have a lot of illumination on some thievery going on with him. And then I get that, wrap it up in a neat little package. It's a complete cycle. Here comes Nancy communicating and chopping people out, divorcing them out. I'm not sure he stays in the House.
So I looked up what her sign was. She is a Leo, but she's coming up Queen of Cups for me, Liz Cheney. Now, there is a Leo woman here or a fire sign woman here, but that's not her. So I was very confused because she comes again with the Knight of Cups. Whatever this show he's putting on involving Liz Cheney, it sticks to him. So this is something that he's kind of going to be known for or can't get out from under very easily. He's going to be persuaded, quote unquote, not to run for re-election. With the Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Wands, his time has kind of run out. There is a woman here, this is a different woman, who steps into, I guess, his position, and maybe he gets the to put on the show that they are forward-thinking people, that they are for uplifting women, and he is happy to endorse whatever woman this is, and that's to make him look better or whatever the case may be. Or maybe that's just his part once they pull him in the closet to make him a little more humble.
I wonder if that's that Stefanik lady that's openly lobbying against.
He did support her.
Pick me, pick me, pick me. Like, yeah.
I asked if Kevin was going to stay in the House as minority leader, and I pulled the mountain, which is a no.
Mm-hmm. Well, the grand tableau shows him being leader for the length of the tableau. So you got to think, too, elections are in 2022. So once the elections happen again, I believe that they would have to vote again to see who's going to remain speaker, minority speaker, or whatever.
Yeah, they have to win their re-election before they get voted again in the House to be the leader.
So maybe he just screws it up so bad that you got the Liz Cheney wing of the party versus the crazies, and they're just like, we can't win with this guy.
What state is McCarthy from?
He's here in California.
He's in California.
I think so. Let me see. I think he's like close to Nunes. Hold on. Kevin McCarthy. Let me see here. He is California 23rd District since 2013. The 23rd District is Bakersfield region. Yeah, because Nunes is over there by Fresno and Lemoore. And he's Bakersfield. They're all around the same. It's the armpit of California, the Central Valley. So, yeah, he's from California. So, interesting. So, he's currently covering for Matt Gaetz, who's, we know what's going on with Matt Gaetz. And the crazy quack lady, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's been kicked off of every single committee. He's covering for them, but throwing Liz Cheney under the bus because that's going to score me more points with a man that lost the House, the Senate, and the election.
Great. And meanwhile, you got Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz touring around the country together for the America First. Like, there's a match made in heaven. Those two should get married.
because they're reporting
He's too old for him.
Yeah, nobody wants to go around Matt Gaetz. That's how toxic he is right now. Nobody wants to be around him. So
except for Marjorie Taylor Greene.
The only person he can buddy up with is a quackanoner, you know? So those two have been touring the country. They've been over at the Village just recently, the Village in Florida, campaigning for Donald Trump. And he was talking some smack about Liz Cheney. Like, if she even knew where Wyoming was on a map, I was like, you know, like, dear gosh. So what is Matt Gaetz's motive for teaming up with Taylor Greene?
Did he get arrested? What did he get arrested for?
DUIs. Like 3 of them. And his dad got him off.
Influence or intoxication?
I think he was.
I smell beer, and I don't ever get the smell vision thing going.
I think he was intoxicated because if you look it up, there's his mug shots are on the internet.
I don't know why I smell beer though.
Mm-hmm. So why is Matt Gaetz hanging out with MQG?
It's so interesting that
MQG
people, Donald Trump is just as nuts, but they love to be around him. Matt Gaetz is the opposite effect.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's like,
for you though.
Everybody's like, oh, he done stepped in it. We don't want to be anywhere around that. And Marjorie Taylor Greene's like, I'll be your friend. I have no friends in Congress either. You know? Why is Matt Gaetz hanging out with Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Why else would they? Why else? What?
So are they doing drugs together? Like what?
I mean, I smell beer, and I know, and they knows beer in this house. Maybe it's my nose. That's probably what it is. It's got to be.
I get because he can manipulate her.
Mm-hmm.
He's like in this chaotic fight for his life. He's trapped right in the middle of it. He's got Biden and Biden's DOJ, you know, underneath him and illumination all over him. Everything is changing for this guy. Everything. So he's got to get out there and talk and try to create more unbalance. He's got to gab about, the big lie and stuff. He's hoping, people are watching him, but people are looking at him. The people that are watching him are seeing him as an inspiration for the treachery, like that he may be behind the insurrection. He's also doing it for money, for donors. I get, big gifts of money and steady money. But he's stabbed in the back. He's about to get cut from his job. He is dissatisfied and doesn't know what to do. And America's turned on him. He's lost his support.
Can you imagine that? Matt Gaetz, the dumbest bag of rocks, thinks Marjorie Taylor Greene is dumber than him, that he can manipulate her. Yeah. I mean, she pretty much is, because she's all over there openly and proud quacking on her. So
I get that their section of the government put them together with the Page of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. And there is the Four of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. So they're both kind of trapped and stuck together. This is to carry out their in particular mission. I pulled some runes. I get the same thing. There is some illumination. This is the sun. And then this is government. And then this is lying. And so it ends in this. They're sort of put together to go travel the country with the Chariot card and be this guy. They're spreading their lies and their cheer and merriment the way that they do.
Now, are they being set up as the fall guys?
I get that there is the result of a very significant investigation, and she is also easily manipulated, and then something that is vast and widespread, and her celebrity. So, and that was another question, which I think we have asked before, if she would be linked to the insurrection and if Gaetz would be linked to the insurrection. This is saying that there's an important investigation, and then her here. So it's like, let me go hang out with the other quackanoner and make her a character.
See, I think they set up Marjorie and Lauren Boebert to be the fall guys for doing the Capitol tours and stuff. But are they setting up Matt Gaetz too? Because let's get rid of the pedophile then with the quackanoners.
Yep.
Are they just being set up by the GOP to be the fall guys?
Is Matt Gaetz being set up to be the fall guy?
I don't know what it's wearing me out. I can't.
The beer smell.
That's all I smell. Good gravy. Oh, Lord.
I wonder if Marjorie's a water sign. I know Matt's a Taurus.
No, she's a Gemini girlfriend. She makes you all poor Geminis look crazy. Actually, Trump and Giuliani and Barr and everybody else. Now this one, she's a Gemini.
They're the fools. Here's Matt Gaetz. Here's Marjorie. Let's go burden them. Just give them the crumbs of stuff. And here's the donors and the Republicans on the other side, waiting for the crash and fall. Justice charging in. It's like if anybody has to go for treason and stuff during an investigation, let's let justice handle it. Victory on that. Because they all have anxiety. They're all trying to stay outside of the role of justice.
I get. However, it may be, not to sound conspiratorial, but it may be a little more even sinister than that. I get the government here, which would be sufficient, but then I get my Republican card too. So it's like something within something. This is those little small niche group inside of something bigger, but it looks like the Republican Party because, again, this is a show. This is a showy person. It's a whole mechanism, and then behind the curtain, there's real world, not spirits and trinities and all these type of things, and then there is the GOP. I think that these two in particular people, as well as probably a whole bunch of others, but these two in particular people, this is kind of their fate. This is kind of what they have to do. This is assigned to them by these people. The people who have been there. I say this about everybody who thinks they're going to go to Washington to change it or go to Washington to do whatever. You're going to fall in line like everybody else. And so either you're in a line that goes with this, or you are on the outskirts. But I think they are sort of chained to commands. They don't really have their own agenda. And if they were to go, then they are already sectioned out anyway. So they can fall by the wayside. She's crazy. He's a pedo. So, okay, no love lost. We'll just replace them. It's different if it's a McConnell. He's harder to replace. These two, we section them out, tell them what to do. They'll keep some clout. They'll keep some power as long as they toe the line. And then once we're done with them, we're done with them.
They're disposable.
Yes. Yeah. And on puppet strings.
Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you, Caroline. I get that the guilt and the burden and the sacrifices and the trials and all that stuff for the GOP gets alleviated in their innocence. So I would say yes, because it shifts to someone young or someone new.
Someone newer, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So here's a question. I'm not going to ask it because I've asked it till the cows come home and I'm done asking. Is Matt Gaetz going to get arrested? And then after that, is he going to go to prison?
For anything specific or just arrested?
For the scam he's involved in right now with the kids and the sex and the drugs and the...
He's got that, and then I think he's got some campaign finance stuff. Yeah. So
all of it.
Like, is he? I'm just going to ask: is he going to get arrested and go to jail? I got to keep shuffling because I saw the devil on the bottom.
He wants to be seen today. I turned the screen around the other way. He's used it right here over my shoulder, like that's where he belongs or something. Now I smell French fries, but I know what that is. Somebody's cooking. That's what that one is. Arrested and bonded. So I finally get a yes in the end too, and I asked specifically about the children and the baby children that he's involved with. There is everything now, mind you, I believe when I see it, but everything that I could get that would indicate this is here. The Ace of Swords, Four of Swords. This would be him, sort of a grounded. So he's probably flight risk or whatever the case may be. He can't leave, can't whatever. And then there is the Eight of Swords, which is the card we use for incarceration. There is the Tower, which means he does not stay incarcerated.
You get that he doesn't stay incarcerated?
No. As in, he goes to jail and then he gets bonded out, though, because there's money right in the middle. Mm. So it's not like he's innocent or deemed innocent, but he gets right back out, which then this probably goes to the court, and then you probably know how that's going to go. But yeah.
Wouldn't it be interesting if, like, let's say next month, FBI comes or whoever, and they arrest Matt Gaetz and he goes to prison or jail, and then daddy comes in and bails him out with some ridiculous amount of money, like $4 million or whatever, gets him out on bail. Wouldn't it be interesting if they just ousted Liz Cheney, but then Gaetz can come back and resume his position in the Judiciary Committee in the House? That would just be...
That would be typical GOP.
There's a strong case against him, and I say that because, like, the indictment is right on him. So I think that's coming up really soon. His challenge is to be called innocent. He's not innocent because he was in on the planning and he helped get the plans off the ground. And they are going to return to him again and again and again. So he's going to have multiple indictments. He's got, I'm going to say he may have 8 indictments against him. One of them has to do with our security, that he was working in secret, like with Trump, and within our Capitol building. So the insurrection. There's something about steady money that he poured into, and that changes everything. There's thievery, so that could be with his campaign. I got Nancy turning up here again, like talking about him too. So I still think he's going to get killed from the House. But he caused imbalances, and he's unbalanced. So I see him whistleblowing, like on the White House, on other people that he collaborated with. He's going to backstab them to the legal system. He's going to be a little tattletale.
I get news of his guilt or news of something that is going to burden someone that is secret or classified, and then a friend that shines a light on everything. But there's also news of something that was secret that comes to light, and a burdened friend. But that friend is no longer burdened. They're over here next to the sun. I know we've read on this. I know that the reports say Trump did not give him a pardon. Matt said he never asked for a pardon. I will believe those two liars when I see pigs flying and gold falling out of the sky. Like, I don't believe either one of them, but it's like he's got something here that it's just
that he skates free.
So
maybe it's the details of the case, because you can charge anybody, sure, but can you prove what they did? Well, especially if their witnesses, or the victims, I should say, don't come forth and say anything.
It's got to be very specific. Like, it's got to be for molesting a minor, for entertainment purposes only. YouTube, it's got to be very specific, so it's got to show guilt.
Yeah, and what's interesting too is that, I'm sorry, I don't understand what planet we're living on, but when the whole news broke about Greenberg and the FBI wanting to go talk to the girl who was 17 at the time when they were trafficking her, saying that she didn't want to talk to the FBI, I'm sorry, I don't remember any other instance where the FBI sends you a formal invite. Like, can we please schedule to come see you on this date? And if you say no, then okay, we're done. No, like, usually they will knock down your freaking door. Yeah. And these people are just, I don't know what's going on. But
so I don't know that they would need to talk to somebody that was a minor. They've got enough documentation. But thank you, the square peg. If he takes a pocket pardon, and which means it declares him guilty, then Nancy can oust him anyway, because that proves his guilt.
And then that would get Trump in a whole world of more problems for corrupt pardons. And then him and everybody else in the team that was paying the whole pay for pardon scheme that was going on. So anyways, off of Matt Gaetz. Lori from The Way of Positive Change, if you have not checked out her channel, please do so, had informed me today that there was a cyber attack on a Colonial pipeline. I don't even know what that is, but why did they attack the pipeline?
Where's the Colonial pipeline? I'm not familiar with that.
Let's Google it. Colonial pipe.
Top U.S. pipeline.
Cyber attack forces a shutdown of a top U.S. pipeline. 51 minutes ago, Russian criminals suspected in Colonial pipeline ransomware attack. Wasn't this in the Grand Tableau, Jenny?
It says it connects Gulf Coast refineries with markets across the southern and eastern U.S.
Jenny, wasn't this in the Grand Tableau that we just did for Putin?
There was all kinds of power, like power grid and hacking and like energy related stuff.
But the corners were saying like viruses on the internet because it was Snake and stars. That's like malware, viruses, something that gets into your computer. And then on the very top, there was stuff about energy.
So what's your question on it?
Why did they attack the pipeline?
Raise our gas prices.
I just drove by the gas station today. The gas here is like $4.57 for 87.
Because that's one thing people watch. Like if gas prices go up under Biden, people might get pissed off. And
to see if they could do it, the Five of Swords and the Star, this is for the future. The High Priestess, Four of Wands, this is also to gauge retaliation, see what you're going to do. And Nine of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, there's your sanctions. There's also a form of retaliation too. This might be like Obama did once too. Like he can turn off all your lights. I know it's interesting that they can cyber hack things here and all that, but the internet is still an American ownership thing. Like they could do some very interesting things in this country too. People in distant lands. There will be some retaliation. They will feel this, but this is a Putin opportunity thing. He's just see if he can do it, and he can.
this is definitely determination and corrupting the internet, throwing everything off balance and blocking the energies from being able to go where they need to go, and affecting all the corporations. And he just sits back and laughs and watches. This is like he will keep doing stuff like this. So new actions, like things that affect new jobs. He's going to keep jumping in, and Russia's going to keep doing treacherous things and try to put Biden into defense mode. So he's trying to manipulate things because Biden's president. He's retaliating for the work that Biden has done. He's also got another foreign leader that's going to take an action too. So not sure who that is. And then he's got oligarchs with him. But he's trying to transition things and cause anxiety under Biden. He doesn't want him to be successful.
They're looking for a link to something else, to this, and I don't know what this is.
Old white man.
Wisdom, maturity, satisfaction. Something with a fleur-de-lis, resort, peace.
He's looking.
They're looking for the link. They're here is them searching, being covert, undercover, kind of like a trap. There's the link to this, and I don't know what this right here
With
is.
the fleur-de-lis, could that be a foreign name?
It would be more like France or anywhere that would have a fleur-de-lis on their.
I mean, could that be like an indication that whatever it is foreign?
No,
Or would
because
you have tips for that?
no, I don't have anything that tells me it's foreign. They're
It could
looking
be.
for a link to this.
It could be looking for links to like all the refineries around New Orleans.
I don't know, but they're looking for this, a link to this, whatever this Lily's is trying to tell me. That's what I'm getting.
Draw two more cards, Becca.
Hold on.
Looking for links to Lily what?
What are the Russians looking for a link to?
Well, why don't we ask?
Yeah.
Well, ask Ciro. Becca can keep more Lenormand on that.
Where is this pipeline?
It's linked to Southern and East Coast refineries.
Is that what it is? Colonial Pipeline, headquartered in Alpharetta, Georgia, is the largest U.S. refined products pipeline system and can carry more than 3 million barrels of gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel between the U.S. Gulf Coast and the New York Harbor area, according to the Wikipedia.
5,500 miles of pipeline system.
It originates in Houston and terminates at the port of New York and New Jersey. It traverses the southeastern states of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia, and continues north through Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, and Jersey.
So it could also be that like they pipe to New York, New Jersey to ship overseas to people we provide energy for, gas for, and stuff, oil. So he may be trying to stop us from exporting any oil so that he can sell other people. With all his
old rocks and old land, old rocks, old stones, old something like that. It was a target before. I think this may even have been reported before if we were to dig it up and see. But not the pipeline, but maybe the land itself or the territory the pipeline runs through. But it's something to do, I think, with the actual land and the actual pathway that the pipeline runs through. There's something there that they maybe want to harvest for themselves, or something there that they need control over somehow. If you can just sabotage, that too is control, but that's what I get. Or later.
I get that I asked, what link are they looking for? And I still can't figure this out. All I'm getting is that they're trying to disrupt the finances, but I'm not reading this correctly because the question was, and I was very specific, what are they trying to find the link to?
It'll come out. It'll make sense in 3 days, 2 or 3 days.
Yep, he's bullying, to try to cause losses. Trying to manipulate like the price of oil and stuff. Trying to change the circle of support here by making it to where they can only produce dribs and drabs. He's going to return again and again and again, unless they can trap him. He's gonna keep pushing this.
I need to go back and look at more of that grand tableau, because that was one of the themes that came up, is that it's just going to be covert attack. It's not direct, it's all covert and ramping up the attacks too. So,
well, it's funny because part of the infrastructure bill, it's going to give credence to the infrastructure bill because part of that is to build up our cybersecurity. Yeah. Because we do not have enough cybersecurity on our power grids and our oil and gas lines, everything.
Yep, and the public, they're like, no infrastructure. Wait till your donors lose bazillions of dollars because Russia just hacked them, and then maybe you'll sign up for the.
Yeah, and the more he does it, like you can, in your grand tableau, it shows like Biden has more sanctions. It's like the more he does it, the more sanctions he's going to get.
Jeanne Sauvage is saying that there is a fleur-de-lis energy company, Energy Corp. I'm going to look that up. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see. Hold on. Fleur-de-lis
in Texas.
Energy Corp. Let me see.
Irving, Texas.
Yeah,
There sure is.
They
I
were
looked it
looking
up the last time when we were doing the grand tableau.
What's that?
I looked it up the last time we were doing the grand tableau.
What grand tableau? The Putin?
On Putin, yeah. This was when we did it off camera.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a Florida Lee Energy LLC in Irving, Texas. Well, they somehow, I don't know if Colonial links up to that one, but they were looking for the link to a Florida Lee, whatever that Lily's was. Wow. Okay. Off of Putin because he's an a-hole. The mayor of Atlanta has announced that she is not running for a second term. Why? Why is she not running?
I want to ask this instead. Is she going to run for governor?
Okay.
What's her name? Bottoms?
Each Lance Bottoms.
She's going to run for governor. Artie's over here all worn out now after all this running around earlier, snoring so loud.
All energy just 10 minutes ago.
He's 17 now. He's pretty old, so when he gets feisty, it cracks me up. He's an old man.
I gotta know.
I feel like rest and perspective change is what's in the front of my mind. She gets the 3 of Swords and the 6 of Cups in the beginning. There's like this got to a point to where this is not why she started politics, to be threatened and all this other kind of garbage that she's been going through. So it's kind of rough at the moment, and this is her kind of strategy out with the 6 of Swords, 7 of Swords. So I think that, I won't say the pressure is getting, because it's not pressure, the disgusting part of politics, the disgusting part of people, because this is not even politics. This is outside of politics. This is gross. This is threatening. This is all of that. I just think that's a bit much right now. That's not the end of things, but it might take a few months or couple of years before she wants to go back into this type of world. Because I don't think it ever leaves you, but I think she's kind of done for right now.
Yeah. Thank you, Carol S. I get it's because of her own personal security. She is walking away from her commitment and something that she loves to do in the government because of all the backstabbing and having to protect herself. I think somebody has taken an aggressive action towards her, like threatened her and burdened her. So she is, to Johnny's point, taking a rest from all the hateful, treasonous Republicans and all their manipulations and shenanigans. She may do some speaking things because I have 2 cards of communication. So she may go into doing, whether it's speaking for Stacey Abrams if she runs, or speaking at a school or something. I get something to do with lecturing, speaking.
I gotta know. I get that there's you got mice here. Mice is an illness, but it could be something that is airborne, that takes away, that causes a lot of problems and delays. So I don't know if this would be like a COVID thing or something. For her or her family, I don't know. That's one way to read this. The second way to read this would be something around, it's just too much trouble. She's not clear. She's under a significant amount of stress. I don't know if she's been threatened by people, her and her family. And it's like, no, she doesn't, like Johnny was saying, the disgusting side of people. Like, no. Yeah. So I have another question. The eminent domain that happened under Trump, where they were taking away people's properties, to my understanding, it's still going on.
For the border wall?
For the border wall that only got, what, 3 inches? Yes, I'm being very sarcastic. like Trump's hands, a whole 3 inches. Will the property be returned?
Down around the Rio Grande and.
Because I just saw something, I think it was CNN or something a couple of weeks ago, where they were still taking people's properties.
Yes, someone may get it back under Biden with the King of Cups and the World card. So someone will see some completion there. However, we must also keep in mind the Two of Wands, plans for the future, and the Magician. This isn't a Republican thing. They are legally allowed to take your things if it's for the greater good. If they want to build a highway in the middle of your neighborhood, they can take your property. That's kind of what they've worked it in there to where they can do that. Now you can sue and go after and this, and then the reciprocity is what they give you some money and you go on about your business. Meanwhile, you've lost everything and you got to move on with the rest of your life. So it speaks to a bigger problem, but to answer the question, yes, some people will be made whole under these next 4 years. Some people.
Yeah, I get their strength in this, from backstabbing and taking, treacherous heartbreak, taking their property. It's going to take a while, though. And I think this is one of the things I see behind the scenes moving in. Kamala, who is put in charge of immigration and the borders and stuff. She's got a commitment to getting a plan off the ground for those that have been burdened and helping them to hang on to their property. I do see some legally getting their property back a little bit. I don't think everybody does. There's some anxiety because there's thievery in this. But I do see working together, trying to give some people their property back.
Yes, there was thievery here. They stole it. Now, this may be something that needs to be brought to light. A lot of properties here, because it's more than one. So I don't know if it's because it was just so vast, so widespread, where they were just taking everybody's stuff to keep track of where they were taking. Do you see what I'm saying? to keep track of whose property got taken away. I get that, but it's like it still needs more attention because it's almost like there's too many that are getting taken away here. So if it's brought to attention, then you can illuminate where it's missing here, if that makes any sense. If I'm explaining that correctly. So. I mean,
they're trying to also reunite kids with their families that were separated. So
yeah. So here's a fun one. Mike Pompeo. And I'll explain. Actually, let me start with this one. Federico Klein, who is a Trump State Department appointee, has a hearing tomorrow at 10 a.m. for his alleged role in the front lines of the U.S. Capitol insurrection.
Thank you, Cold Toes.
Thank you, Cold Toes. How's it gonna go for Frederick tomorrow when he has to go testify? And it's at a DC court.
I am so dehydrated tonight. I've already gone through my tea and my water, so I'm going to throw on this, and then I'm going to run grab some more tea and water. Oh, big changes for him. Not too good. I'm going to ask him a lot of questions because he was the inside man, but also watch for him to lie. That's my liar card. So what is the hearing about exactly? For his part in like, what are they investigating? Do we know?
Wasn't he in the, he was in the,
in the insurrection. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, the cards just made sense as soon as you said that. The insurrection. Yeah, he caused the imbalance. There's some money news connected to him also, and they're going to return to him again over this insurrection, and again and again. He might be looking at some jail time. I'll leave it at that while I go fix some more tea.
So get the death card and the 2 of Wands. So there's a huge change coming here. But it opens up something I don't think he was prepared for. There might be some more in his in particular background, because the 2 of Wands is potential and it's just starting. Like this, there's a lot. 4 of Cups and the Ace of Swords. And even more so, he's not in any position to do anything. He doesn't really have a bargaining chip. He can't say, I'll give you this if you give me a lesser sentence or whatever. He's in a very bad position. Discovery is going to really hurt him because there's probably a lot in his past that is built up, probably cocaine and money. For entertainment purposes only. there is something. Yeah, there's something. There's something. That's what I heard too. So I'm gonna stick with that.
Something?
Yes, there's cocaine and money, is what I heard. So whatever it is, it hurts him tremendously. So he's in no position to bargain. He is in every position to go down. I don't know if he has a wife or baby mama or whoever on the outside. She may be called in for questioning too. There's a woman associated with this too. She is also going to be in a position that she doesn't want to be in either, and it's because of her association. So, and I think it's outside of the insurrection. So it's like I say, he has a past, and that past is going to be brought up, and that is what changes things for him tremendously. He's looking at charges among charges, longer than his 2 arms put together. So should have stayed at home, buddy.
That woman isn't like Marjorie Taylor Greene or anything like that, is it? It's a woman on the outside?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well, I get that there's going to be a very successful hearing here with Birds. He is not innocent, and it's just the early stages of his suffering. And also, he is going to cause a lot of. He has the potential to cause a lot of problems for those that were in the administration or those that were in his entourage. So he might have jibber jabbered here with Birds, not just at the hearing, but he might have said something in passing to someone, and it implicates those people. But it shows that he's not innocent. He's going to suffer, and perhaps those in the entourage or in the administration suffer as well. Which makes me wonder, going back to Mike Pompeo.
Was it worth it?
Apparently it was to them, Johnny. Like, it wasn't them. It wasn't their kids. It wasn't their family that was getting killed. It wasn't their family in the Capitol getting terrorized with a bunch of crazies. But so can we ask if Mike Pompeo will, I don't know how to word it, Johnny. If he'll be like linked to the insurrection, because he was at State Department.
Will he be investigated?
Okay. Will Mike Pompeo be investigated?
For the insurrection.
I like that linked. I'm asked if he was linked. And then if he'll be investigated.
Oh, I saw the devil on the bottom again. Gotta keep shuffling. It's funny how some weeks that devil just wants to come out over and over.
Which is interesting that in personal readings it does not show up that much.
I get it for like problems at work with a boss or something.
I actually just got it the other day. Someone's perception of their boss. That's how it came up.
It's all ego and a problem.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Julie.
Oh, Artie woke up. He's got grouchy face, like he needs to go back to sleep.
He's a grumpy cat.
I must have woke him up when I went to get tea and water. You're giving me stink face. Why are you doing that?
I'll say yes, just because, but it's yes. It's a lot more complicated. It's because I get the stitching needle. It's woven. It's a lot more complicated. Page of Cups, 3 of Swords. There's the inside person, young, naive person at that he's associated with. There's payments that cannot necessarily be traced to him, but if you were to get a hold of this person, then they can get back to this. But I don't think it's his money though either, which is why I say it's complicated. So it's like he's the go-between, Mike Pompeo, between him and then this young man. This young man goes off and he's at the insurrection, or he works in Congress, Matt Gaetz or somebody like that. And yeah, but this is a tree. This has got branch and roots, and there's a bunch of people involved in this. There's one main thing, the tree, the insurrection, but then that insurrection has fruit and leaves and stems, and it has a core, a root. So yes, he's just part of all of that. But yeah,
he's part of the larger tapestry of sedition.
Yeah.
Yes.
Justice is coming for him, and justice matters. Glenn Kirshner. Yes, he will be linked. He will be put in defense mode. He might have helped people move around somehow. He is strongly involved. He will have DOJ after him. It is a whole big network. He's a part of the network. He's also a part of the money that funded it, with the bullies, the peanut butter boys and oath creepers. There will be an action taken against him also to burden him because of something he did with Russia that has a national security implication while he was in the White House, and causing some treachery. And there's something he did that affected America. And I'm going to say Biden too. So maybe election smearing stuff with Russia. Propaganda.
All of my cards say yes, I'll believe it when I see it. There is an entire network of people that were desiring to be successful. They were desiring to be triumphant. They wanted nothing more than to win. So this is all saying yes. I'll believe it when I see it, because these aren't like people that just got in their cars and drove to the Capitol to perform an insurrection, like everybody that's being arrested right now. No, these are top level government officials. It's not like Mike Pompeo just crawled out of a dumpster. He's a career person, so I don't know. Speaking of insurrections, thank you, Judy.
My thing, okay. I got to, never mind.
No, go for it, Johnny. Go for it. We always love a Johnny rant.
If you voted for Donald Trump, not that you're watching this, but if you voted for Donald Trump, you cannot question nobody's patriotism for the rest of your life. If somebody want to kneel for the flag, or if somebody don't want to stand at all, these people went to a foreign country who is your
adversary.
I just
your biggest adversary.
And you're kissing the ring.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. In those polls I was talking about earlier, 20% of Americans are okay with a foreign country getting involved in our election. 20%.
So long as it suits their agenda. Had
right.
those tables been turned and it's been, I don't know, China or somebody or Israel or whoever, Canada, helping America, they would be the first up in arms.
So if you think about it, and if the GOP stopped and thought about it, Trump only has 20% of America behind him.
Yep. But they keep, like the Titanic has hit the iceberg. The ship is going like this. And they're still
the band is playing.
and these idiots are like, Trump's our man. Yay. Like, okay.
And they hit it on purpose and called it a hoax.
Yeah.
The band is playing Nearer My God to Thee. The ship is starting to sink.
And Lindsey Graham, by the accounts of Senator Sheldon Brown, was screaming at the Capitol Police that was with him that they were not doing enough to protect him. As soon hours later, when they got control of the Capitol again, Lindsey Graham was on the floor disputing the results of the election, when he was just a few hours ago, pardon my French, shitting his pants because of what had happened. Like, there's something not right. But speaking of the insurrection, Jenny sent me a video today. It's on Glenn Kirshner's. You want to take it away, Jenny? Take it away.
There is a guy in court right now for his part in the insurrection attacking the Capitol. His name is Anthony Antonio, and his lawyer is Joseph Hurley. And they are claiming that he attacked the Capitol because he suffers from foxitis, because he was laid off under Trump and he sat and watched Fox News for 6 to 8 hours a day and developed foxitis.
Mm-hmm. So now they're blaming Fox News for the insurrection. So what's the question?
For brainwashing him. So how's his foxitis defense going to go on him? Now, Glenn's video, if you listen to the whole thing, he had some great points like, okay, that means Congress needs to get together and put some laws together that if you promote out and out lies on a news channel, that you will be held accountable, like that's a federal crime. Mm-hmm. And especially if you're promoting violence, by promoting a lie.
We can ask next if Fox News will be held accountable, because still, I don't watch Fox News, but from the reports I've seen on Dave Pachman and stuff, 6 months later, they're still over there saying that election was rigged and Trump won and we stole it. To this day, after an insurrection, to this day, they are still claiming that the election was a fraud.
Yeah.
So we'll look at that next. So how is Antonio's case going?
Anthony Antonio.
Here's my thing, though. I'm not. If I were the judge, I'd say, okay, you're right.
I mean,
because you cannot jump in a pool and not get wet. If you watch Fox News for 8 hours a day, it will kill literally brain cells in your head. They would just be walking around smash.
At the same time, it's Mother's Day. Your mother's always told you when you're growing up, if a friend told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it? No, you have to use your own judgments at some point. So
you would jump off the bridge if he didn't die and he looked like he was having fun.
It's the equivalent. It's the poor man's equivalent of affluenza.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's just the poor man's.
I don't know what I'm doing because I have no boundaries. I don't know what I'm doing because I don't have correct information.
So I have foxitis. That's what it
but
is.
Ignorance is no excuse
of the law.
Yes.
That's why I call it brain poison, you all. If you sit there and watch that stuff, you are brain poisoning yourself. It's brain poison. So,
now, that doesn't mean that you get to just go home, but I would say you are right.
Well, you got to be wealthy to have affluenza, for those in the chat. You have to have a lot of money and entitlements to have affluenza. This guy was laid off, had no job, and sat around, watched Fox News till he developed chronic foxitis.
I wonder if he bought them gold coins they're always pushing. You can sell those.
Probably got that golden statue of Trump in his.
You know who was selling those gold coins? Giuliani was for a while there. Oh my gosh. Did you guys see the interview with Michael Cohen and Joy Reid when he was saying that Giuliani's biggest problem is he gets, basically shit-faced drunk before he goes on TV to do a bunch of interviews? Like he drinks like a madman, and then he goes on TV to do interviews.
That's why he and Trump get along.
Yeah, with hair dye,
webs in the head.
My cards are giving it to me as the equivalent of affluenza.
Outcome of the case.
It's like
I don't get his.
It's poor man's affluenza. A lot of abundance. It's poor man's abundance.
Oh God. Oh Lord.
But okay. But wait a minute. No.
What, Johnny? What?
Because dial it back, young man. Affluenza is you have no boundaries, therefore you have no indication that you're crossing those boundaries. If you have come to the realization that fixed noise is brain poison, then that means you ingested it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a revelation. This was on
an
purpose.
Excuse. That was what Glenn Kushner was saying. He said, like, if you're looking at someone's mental ability to stand trial, that kind of thing, this won't hold up because you chose to sit there and keep watching, again, like your mom telling you, if your friend told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it? No, you have to at some point have your own discernment.
Because like I always go back to this because it was ridiculous, but it was a nuisance lawsuit, so they settled. McDonald's got sued because a woman drunk hot coffee. She burned the roof of her mouth. Who goes anywhere to buy coffee and not assume it's hot?
And everybody, all the coffee makers like Starbucks and everybody had to lower the temperature of their coffee. You can't get a piping hot cup of coffee anywhere anymore.
And she sued and won because it's a nuisance lawsuit. Get it out of here, get it out of the way. But who watches Fox News for information?
Nobody.
You watched it because you found a place where your hatred is adjudicated. Your hatred is pushed back to you. The echo
validated.
It's an echo. Mm-hmm.
And so that's why you watch it. Now, if you got stupid information from there, it's because you went to consume it. You know what's there. You went there on purpose. But I didn't get his case. I just got that his lawsuit will cause a conversation.
Thank you, Desiree.
Thank you, Desiree.
Did you get it? Will affect his case at all?
No, I actually didn't get his case. I got a whole bunch of stuff around him. Like it actually causes an actual conversation about how things are delivered, how information here with your 7 of Cups, your cloudy information, echo chambers, the 4 of Pentacles, how we don't leave our in particular circles. So I get a bunch of that about him. I actually didn't get his case at all. I mean, it's probably a non-starter. You're going to jail or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
But I get, this is a new inspiration. I'm going to try this and I'm going to deliver this Foxitis thing. The challenge is for it to be a strong way to protect himself. The challenge, it's not strong, in other words. Justice and the Ace of Swords moving in on a new action with him in the courts. He thought he would get away with it, but he's going away. He was a part of the bullies, and he shared in all of that. He will be put away for the insurrection in jail. He is serving time.
Foxitis. Lord Jesus.
Foxitis.
So I get a lot of depression and a lot of loss that was persistent. And this man found stability and reliability in being loyal and loving. But as far as this helping him in his case, it's going to cause an even bigger shitstorm. So if you were hoping that, I only heard it on Fox News because look at me, I'm such a good citizen. I'm so loyal and loving and reliable for Trump. And Fox News told me all this stuff, so it drove me to go crazy. It doesn't help his case. It causes even more problems for him. Now, follow-up question.
So people who are broke and they have jobs, though, and they rob a bank and they go broke-itis and say, I'm doing this because I don't have any money.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So here's a follow-up question. Every time Fox News has been brought up to court, it's like when Tucker Carlson, their excuse was, well, everybody knows that Tucker Carlson is for entertainment purposes only. Nobody would dare believe a word that comes out of his mouth. So basically they're saying that man is a liar. We just give him a platform to lie. Okay. Same thing with Janine. I like Fox wine and drink and drive and get into accidents. Same thing with her. Like every time one of their anchors, which are nothing more than disgusting opinion host, gets into any amount of trouble, Fox News falls back on the we are for entertainment purposes only. Look, it says it right there. We're an entertainment industry. Nobody would dare believe what these people say. So will Fox News be held accountable for their role in helping to incite the insurrection or also by continuing to propagate the big lie? that here we are 6 months later, that election was stolen. Don't believe it. Like, will they be held accountable for that?
Will they Fox News be held accountable?
Mm-hmm. I mean, the one decent news anchor that they had, they kicked him off the freaking network. What's his name? Shepard Smith?
Yeah.
The one truth person, they fired him. They canned him. Like,
Yeah, we can't have no truth.
Him and that older man. I forget what the older man's name is.
mm-hmm.
Lou Dobbs.
Yeah, no, the other one.
This is gross, man.
Lou Dobbs is awful. The other one, Wallace, something Wallace.
Chris Wallace. Are you still there?
I think so.
So,
I don't know because I don't want to get Foxitis, so I don't watch it.
Because now we're making things up. That's what.
They don't have a vaccine for that yet.
and it's funny how every time they spread a bunch of lies, and right before they get sued or busted, they walk it back just enough for a few days, and then boom, they're right back at it again. Like, their viewers are so brainwashed that they cannot tell when the switch has been flipped. You know, like it's terrible what they're doing over there.
Hello, tea with Karen in the chat.
Hi, Karen. What are you getting, Mr. Johnny?
Yes, but because this is how it starts. 5 of Pentacles and good old Devil. That's the card of the day. Yes, they put out. Now this one is more information about disease. So I don't know if they are going to put out information about vaccines or about COVID or about maybe a different strain, or maybe even calling it something that they shouldn't, like the China virus.
They're telling people to go stand at schools and yell at kids to take their mask off. Tucker Carlson telling people, yell at kids, go and abuse kids at school and yell at them to take their mask off.
Because it ain't Tucker Carlson that's about to get knocked in the face by somebody's angry mom or dad. It'll be some other idiot.
We can only hope.
And Tucker Carlson,
please somebody have a camera phone ready.
Like Tucker Carlson just flies his racist flag proud, just proud. Like, it's so.
I don't get the pushback. I don't. Anyway, nothing.
I get there's some sort of legal challenge, because they're trapped right in the middle of it, but they think they have the moral authority, that kind of thing. They think they're morally higher than everybody else, but they get asked a lot of questions, and they're gonna kind of gaslight about it. I get that Fox News itself hangs on, but there is some sort of legal action coming in that makes them very anxious, and I think they will fire somebody who is telling lies. So somebody is going to move on, move away, move out of Fox News.
I get that there's several emails or documents, or perhaps if I read this as entertainment, like, look at us, you can't do anything. We're here for entertainment only. But something happens where they may have to split between news and entertainment. So perhaps there may be something that they legally have to disclose. Like, Sean Hannity comes on, this is entertainment. Nothing is true and being reported. This is just his opinion. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, something like that, but it's down the road. And then there's people that break contracts, more loss of contracts, perhaps more advertisers start leaving, like, it's news of more broken contracts, perhaps news of if the celebrities on there, the news people are under contract, there may be contracts there that do not get renewed, they get broken. So
I get America turns their back on them too. So I think their ratings will go down.
Do you want to hear something funny? It's not on our list of questions. Thank you, Shiana. But it's funny. The Republicans are now fighting to have a Rush Limbaugh Day, a national holiday named after one of the most disgusting, bigoted, racist, misogynistic pigs ever.
So we would all just go get drunk on Rush Limbaugh Day, I guess, because that's what he did all the time.
And do a bunch of drugs, like,
Yeah.
you know. So here's a question. With this whole Rudy Giuliani thing that's going on, Rod Rosenstein.
Well, not just Rudy, the Mueller report stuff with Judge Amy Berman Jackson calling out Barr, well, who was second in command there during the Mueller investigation, or ran it until Barr came in, Rosenstein or whatever.
So what should we ask? Will Rod Rosenstein be investigated?
I want to look at him and Barr. So let's look at Rosenstein first. Will he get investigated over his handling of the Mueller report? He's the one that sat there, stood there right behind Barr when Barr told all those lies on camera about nothing to see here.
And then in that press conference with William Barr, he looked like a freaking hostage. He's just sitting there like,
yeah.
He looked like a hostage.
These people. Okay.
Tucker is a very large hemorrhoid. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't have said it better.
You coming back up? Yeah. Ooh, he's going to regret things that he's done. Regret.
I know that Rush Limbaugh is dead, but that's why they're trying to make a Rush Limbaugh national holiday.
Oh, did he die finally?
Yeah, he died months ago.
He's been dead.
I think I celebrated that day. I had a drink.
Somebody asked us if we would read on if he's seen the light yet on the other side.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Or even gotten to the light.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good for him. Yeah. Oh Lord. Okay. It's a bad time to get the giggles. Listen.
Giggle away, Johnny. Giggle away. I love a good Johnny laugh.
Oh, mercy.
Maybe they buried him with Mitch's dead hand.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Yeah, I get Rosenstein as like he's gonna regret some of his actions. They're gonna bring him in to talk. He's gonna try to act all naive, and it will surprise him to get brought in. But his issue is what they planned and the plans they got off the ground. So there was some premeditative aspects to how they handled the Mueller report. He will get asked a lot of questions for what his part was in it, what he shared in it. I get the tower is on him. Yeah, I think Merrick Garland's starting to show up for me. Like, because if I get my Biden card and then this, I think it's pointing me to Merrick Garland. Like, it's going to look at what was the inspiration behind this? Why did you throw the balance off on the Mueller report to everybody in the government? And tried to make the image of it something that it wasn't, like nothing to see here. He talked about it also and manipulated things, and he's going to get investigated. I'm not following what this something he cut from the Mueller report.
Something that he cut from the Mueller report, or something that he cut?
Something that he cut.
Could it be this? Separation, huge camps that made people very emotional. Was he involved in family separation?
I got the family card here too, so yeah, that could be.
Was he involved with the family separation policy?
Well, the DOJ would have been over it.
Because I get that there's something here. They cut, they separate, they sever, and then there's a big camp of people here, and then a lot of emotionality, and this is like hurt feelings, like suffering emotionally.
I forgot about that because I was like, is this Republican card or what? It's actually family, cutting families, separating, because that's my divorce card or separating card. Mm-hmm. Steadily, like did it all the time. So he's in trouble. He's in big trouble. He's got an investigation on him.
What did you get, Johnny?
Yes, but it didn't lead to much him cooperating. I guess that's a lot. There is the devil and the Ace of Pentacles. So yes, there will be some interest taking in his actions, and there is that emotions you all were talking about just then. But when he's ousted, something changes with the death card, and then he begins to work with them with the temperance. So back against the wall, he cooperates.
The camp thing started, the immigration camp started under Jeff Sessions. Remember, Jeff Sessions got blown up on that. Mm-hmm. So technically, he's got a fall guy with Sessions on that, and then Barr, did the release of the Mueller report. Mm-hmm. So even though he oversaw the Mueller investigation, Barr came in like February, I want to say, and then the Mueller report was released in like April.
So will William Barr, here's my question, because the judge is coming back slamming Barr.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that Barr is going to be in trouble for misrepresenting and lying to a judge, lying to a federal judge, and then lying to Congress, and then lying to the... So that's like perjury twice, because who cares if you lie to the American people? Politicians do it all the time.
Right.
And on top of that, I'm also thinking Homeboy is going to be in trouble when Rudy flips, because Rudy was working like this with William Barr, and Donald Trump even said so. Call William Barr.
Yeah.
When Rudy Giuliani was running around with the Ukraine thing. So how do we ask about Barr? Because that man's got all sorts of problems going on.
What will Barr be investigated for? Will he be investigated for anything?
Hold on. Bubs is banging on the door. Do you hear my door banging? That's Bubby.
Bubby's come join Artie.
Come on, Bubby. I know, Bubs. I know. Are you going to help me read cards? Okay. So what was the question, Jenny? What is William Barr going to be investigated for?
Investigated for.
I mean, come on, like, God, dog. Don't you want to live a simple life? Go to work, go to the grocery store, go to a movie, a restaurant. You want to do corruption, and I know this part. Like, Jesus, Christian.
Johnny's got a big old rant building up in him.
I do. I'm a hush, but God, no.
Great.
I don't understand. Why would you? I live a boring life on purpose, though. I don't like the uppy downy. I like things. Because I like to see what's about to happen. All this business with I'm covering this up and don't talk to this person on Thursday because then they go like, what the heck?
I don't like to waste all my hard-earned money on lawyers.
I mean, you know how much chicken and gizzards you can buy with all that money? You end up here buying lawyers and carrying on.
You could retire, live somewhere nice.
Ridiculous. Don't have to look over your shoulder. Your guts ain't in a knot. Because, I mean, okay. Do what you want to do. But dang.
Oh, boy.
Imbalance to his job. So there was
Abuse
a lot. And I mean, this one, everybody, I mean, you won't even need to explain that one. Imbalance to his job. There he is with his best friend, as he is wont to do. Which means probably from his first day to his last day, it was complete illegality. I don't think he did anything legal or did anything the right way. The Five of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. There was a bully tactic he took over information and something. There was an action he took over information. So this is the Mueller report. This is the thing that he is going to be investigated for. The actions that he took. There was a bully tactic here, and it was over information. Maybe it's his kid. There's a kid here that's also would run things back and forth. That this is a errand person. Maybe this is the kink in the armor, because everybody who commits a horrible crime makes one mistake, at least. And this might be it.
Not to mention all the people that were criming are really freaking stupid. So.
Yes. And this is true. But this leads to judgment and a resurrection of the past. So I think he made a mistake, and it's going to be highlighted.
I get several things. I get lying about the quid pro quo, and the image he put forward with that, and like cutting somebody's job with that. So like maybe being in on that ambassador that lost their job over it. And maybe even Colonel Vindman and all those people that lost their jobs over the whistleblowing. There's the imbalance, in the government. So and gaslighting. So abuse of power is what I'm getting. And then something he was stealing. He had partners in on it, though. Something he was stealing in secret. From Biden. So I feel like he was aware of election meddling, by Russia, like stealing, trying to keep Biden from getting to higher ground. So the propaganda, that kind of stuff. He's in on something with that. He's going to get burdened. I get an action will be taken against him in court because of his bullying, which is his abuse of power. He's like done. He's toast. And I started out with the sword of truth on him, like truth's coming out now. What you getting, Becca?
Retaliation against whistleblowers, and also something about a significant death of somebody that was abused so that they wouldn't talk. And then a very large network of children that were having affairs. Somebody died. They got abused. They got their asses beat. So talking would be very difficult. A lot of kids that were having affairs.
Yeah.
So, Also, significant retaliation to punish, and then something here that is dead, and then someone here negotiating or talking. But the man committed 850 crimes. Get him for something, for something, please.
You did a grand tableau on him, right? You just haven't done a live on it?
Yeah, I just threw it. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, okay. So watch for that later this week, guys.
So, yeah. So speaking of, Donald Trump, the FEC court is split between Republicans and Democrats. And the FEC judgment was, no, we're not going to hold Donald Trump accountable for paying off Stormy Daniels and basically committing election campaign finance fraud or whatever it is.
Which is what Michael Cohen went to jail for.
Which is exactly what Michael Cohen went to jail for. The statute of limitations on that is going to run out in exactly 5 months, as Jenny was telling me. So the FEC is like, no, we're not going to pursue this. Are the states going to pursue it, or is that still
will the DOJ pursue it under Garland?
Because would it still be 5 months, even if the FEC decides not to do it?
They've already got a conviction on record, so it would be very easy to prove in court that he did it.
What was his name? Was it Individual One in that report?
Yeah,
was
Individual One and Michael Cohen and Don Jr. because Don Jr.'s name was on some of the checks.
Watch his only defense be, yeah, well, tell me who Individual One is. My name is not Individual One. My name is Donald J. Trump, the 45th president of the United States. So will he be held accountable for campaign finance?
For the Stormy thing, the same thing that Michael Cohen went to prison for. And Michael Cohen only got sentenced to 3.5 years? I'd take that just to get Trump shut up for 3.5 years. Throw him in there for 3 years.
He'll come out with tattoos and the muscles.
It's like, how can you let him go when you've already convicted somebody on it? It's like, oh, we're going to pick and choose who we are going to convict, even though we know you're all guilty of it.
This would have to be a DOJ thing. I get justice here. 10 of Pentacles, something bigger than lower courts, though. And there's the lower courts. It would have to be something bigger than lower courts. Or it would go up to the Supreme, because he's not going to take a conviction and just go away. But I get the Lovers and the 5 of Cups, so I don't think so. But we'll see.
I get that a very significant friend or an ally already sang. So I'm assuming that friend is Michael Cohen, and maybe he ratted out not just Trump, but perhaps a pair of advisors or more advisors. I don't know. But this is not talking about Trump. This is talking about someone close to him, an associate or a friend, somebody that was loyal, that's already sang. So thank you, Marie.
So is that a yes or a no to...
That's telling me somebody's already sang. So
they're not going to pursue anything new. I've got my Merrick Garland card on the bottom here. Like, he's waiting because of something that Biden is working on in the government. It's like he knows, in the past, he already knows that Trump's guilty of that. But there's something bigger with Russia that I think he will prosecute on, that he'll come after him in the courts. And the big lie, I think he'll go after him on. So it's almost like this is like small time compared to the other stuff that he's going to take action on in court. His bullying, that would be like the insurrection and stuff, and stuff from overseas. I think he's just got bigger things that he can convict him on, that he's got the evidence on.
So Rudy Giuliani ain't got no money. He's broke.
Broke ass. Rudy Tooty.
What's in a crematorium?
Adult bookstore crematorium is about to be indicted, FBI rated, broke ass. Rudy Tooty. Four Seasons adult bookstore crematorium Giuliani.
Jenny, you have to amend his name to put remember when the hair dye was dripping down his head?
Oh, melting. I did have melting in his name at one time. Now he's rated in melting.
So Rudy Giuliani ain't got no money. He's over there telling his friends are pressuring Donald Trump to pay him out of the war chest, which that money ain't in the war chest because Donald Trump had to pay it all back when he got sued because he was making current payment on people.
So he was
yeah, because he had to pay what, 160 million or something like that. He had to pay back. So he doesn't have the $250 million. And Rudy Giuliani's associates and allies are telling Trump, you need to pay his legal bills. Like, you need to pay his legal bills. And then Rudy Giuliani's kid, I Eat Paste #2, was on the news the other day, making thinly veiled threats to whoever was watching that you need to pay my daddy's legal bills. Oh my God. I don't even know what the question, because it's so ridiculous. Like, we know Donald Trump isn't going to pay him. He doesn't pay anybody.
Giuliani's got properties up in the Hamptons, and Trump's got properties all over the place. Sell some of the damn properties and pay your lawyer.
They were saying,
now I'm curious. If he's on TV saying this, and then of course Rudy has parroted this same narrative, what gives them the position to do that?
What gives them what?
Because it sounds to me kind of like, it sounds to me like, hey, if you know what's good for you. He didn't say it in those words, but if you know what's good for you, you'll pay my father's legal bills. What gives them the platform to say such a thing, though? Like, do they really have the insurance on Donald Trump that they said they did?
Yeah, that insurance, is that covered up?
Because Michael Cohen, in that interview he did with Joy Reid, he ain't got no damn insurance. It's all a lie. The guy's drunk half the time. He drinks like a madman. Like, and damn.
So,
oh my God.
Why does Giuliani think he has leverage over Trump to try to get his legal fees covered?
So why does Rudy Giuliani think he has leverage over Trump?
Yeah.
They were reporting, too, that he pays his ex-wife $45,000 a month in alimony. And he had some ridiculous, like, I think it was $10,000 or $12,000 membership to a cigar bar in New York. I mean, just insane spending. Thousands a month.
Why would he pay anybody $45,000 a month for anything?
For alimony.
Where does he get that kind of money to where she's comfortable with that kind of lifestyle, to where once y'all divorce, she needs $45,000 a month?
Yeah, it's interesting because he was mayor of New York, and then he was an attorney general down in the Southern District of New York. Those salaries don't pay that much.
He wasn't CEO of Walmart.
It's like he had to have some investments, elsewhere, and he, was a part of a law firm, so I'm sure he made like some money off some of the cases that they handled. But thank you, Jewel, and thank you, Sue.
But if you guys remember correctly, he was trying to get Trump to pay him $20,000 a day. A day. Not a week, not a month, a day. While he was over there running around to the Ukraine doing all this lobbying stuff to steal the elections for Trump. That's what, $140-something thousand a week?
because my thing is with alimony is the person you're divorcing, male or female, they get comfortable to a lifestyle that you created, and you have to sustain that now that you're separated. Where did you get $45,000 a month from?
And mind you, Johnny, that's what, his third wife? How much does he pay the others?
I'm saying
it doesn't make any sense.
She must got insurance on him. That's what that
is. So why does Giuliani think he has leverage over Trump?
He thinks he has power over him because of knowledge of steady partying stuff. So I think he's with Trump at a few of his little parties where there were probably like underage people. We know Rudy got in trouble over that Borat movie, right? Like he can burden him over parties. And I'm going to say even while he was in the White House, stuff was going on. He knows about gifts of money that Trump received while he was in the White House. Things that he manipulated, like for ending, so like job losses, like the ambassador. And he's really anxious about, Trump is really anxious about something that happened while he was in the government that Rudy could whistleblow on and illuminate. So he does have some sort of insurance, but part of the insurance is what Rudy himself did as an unregistered agent.
Marie Henson in the comments was saying $12,000 for cigars, something that you're going to light up and poof, it's gone. $12,000 on cigars.
I used to go to work for 43 hours a week and make $12,000 a year.
He took your whole salary for that year and just
he did
and smoked cigars out of them
and literally burned it.
Burned it up in smoke.
Well, I'm sure they have snorted more than $12,000 worth up both their noses, the two of them.
In the words of Sophia Petrillo, may you put your dentures in backwards and eat your own face. Everything Jen pulled is what I got. There is a conversation from the past that he note. Be careful who holds your secrets. A conversation from the past. Parties with underage people. Even when you were in the White House, there was some things that he knows. Well, of course, he knows all of that because he was there. There's also something about force fighting. This is not a bully thing. This is like an actual having someone roughed up type of thing. This is not necessarily why you were in the White House, but it could have been. But this is over the years because you fancy yourself a Don, if you get what I'm saying. So it's, you really want to be, anyway, that's off topic. But there's some manipulation. This, however, is the culmination of your whole life. So he knows everything he needs to know to make you, America's most wanted. And then we can see you being chased by cops on cops or something. But he knows everything. There's something else in your family, too. This involves a woman or women. So I don't know if you have children outside of the 4 that we have seen. Almost said 3. Tiffany is a foster child. Yes, 4 you have that we have seen. Or he knows the origin story of some of your kids. And
maybe the origin of his own son.
The reason why your kid and his kid look just alike.
That's freaking hilarious, dude.
I'm just saying, I ain't gonna ever let it go. I've seen that picture. I'm like, wait a minute. That ain't Eric. Oh, it sure ain't.
Nope. That's IE case number 2.
It sure is.
I get he doesn't have leverage or insurance. I get that he's just going to maybe threaten or perhaps hit him where it hurts more and give him something on Ivanka and make her suffer. That's what I get. So I don't know. But what's our funny question before we leave tonight?
Well, Arizona now, the cyber whatever it is that's doing the audit is looking for bamboo fibers, as if the ballots were maybe forged over in China or somewhere in Asia.
They were made in China and then flown to Arizona. That's what they're saying. They were made in China and flown into Arizona. So now they're looking for bamboo fibers.
Were they made in a bamboo farm? What the heck?
Because it's China, of course they have to have bamboo.
Oh my God.
Like people would have bamboo in their apartments and stuff. No, you see bamboo like growing on the sides of highways and stuff, and where they grow bamboo for commercial uses and stuff.
But
people don't have bamboo like in their apartments where they might be filling out fake ballots for them and stuff.
But here's the funny thing. Everything that you will ever buy has a made in China sticker. Go look at something that's made in China and see if you can find bamboo in your lamp, in your underwear, in your jeans, there's bamboo everywhere. If that's your theory, because everything's made in China.
Why not just look for soy salt packets on them too? What in the world?
Because I guess the scheme to find the watermarks that Donald Trump had put on the ballots to catch the Democrats cheating, they couldn't find those. So now they're looking for bamboo because the Chinese
bamboo fibers.
Before I shuffle on that, I asked while y'all were talking, I asked, why does I Eat Paste and I Eat Paste 2 look so much alike?
Oh no.
There was a little bullying of the mother. And there was an addiction at play here. So I think somebody was
swinging
high.
The woman and the origin story of his children.
And Trump, like there was a little partying going on, and then you got two unbalanced kids, and illumination coming on that. Maybe that's what Rudy's got on him. I know who the father of my kid is.
Both of y'all need Maury Povich.
Can you imagine that show?
My question is, out of the both of them, which one gonna get up and run first?
Okay. So who runs first, Eric or I Eat Paste 1 or I Eat Paste 2?
Yeah, Eric or Andrew. Arizona bamboo hunt. How's that going to work out? It's like it just gets nuttier and nuttier on what they're looking for in this audit.
Yeah, it makes me wonder.
At this point, you have to now recognize that this is fake. That this whole recount is just a farce.
So
absolutely.
It's like first we tried the black light thing, checking with ultraviolet light or whatever. Now we're gonna go search again for bamboo.
And what's crazy is that for a while there, absolutely no oversight at all.
Yeah,
at all.
Nobody will believe whatever results they get. It's just a farce.
They handed a bunch of crazies people's ballots and said, go have fun, go play in the sand for a little bit. So the outcome of the Arizona bamboo stuff.
I think they're going to say, oh, look, we found some stolen ballots, that were moved here, and try to make everybody anxious. It's gaslighting, of course. That they're going to be like, look, here's a whole bunch of them, like steady. We need to return these ballots. They're going to have to walk away from this though, because the courts are going to get involved. And that just brings the tower on this whole audit. So looking for bamboo isn't going to do them any good, but they are going to say they found bamboo on some of the ballots, I think.
What did you get?
I get that there. I pulled some oracle cards. The quest is dissipating. Their in particular garbage is dissipating. because they're coming to an impasse. There's nothing they can do. They can. I'm like, you know what? Hush. The bamboo farm. What the hell?
I get that they're going to suffer, but they're going to try to claim a win. Here's the birds, so that's talking, and then here's your lucky ticket. The results give us a win, but no. It suffers here. So it's like they might come out and say, "We won. We found the proof. We found the proof." It's not going to hold up in court. They can't change the results. So it's like they're not going to win the court case, but it'll just fuel their whole conspiracy that we found the bamboo, we won, even though
don't trust the elections. Yeah, don't trust the elections, which is the ultimate goal.
Yep. So that's all we got tonight, you guys. We went a little bit over. I want to say thank you to everybody who super chatted. Thank you to Johnny and Jenny and Artie for hanging out tonight. Happy Mother's Day. And Bubby, who ran away from me because he can't figure out what's going on with his life. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Any special announcements from you guys for the week coming up? Any readings?
I don't have any. I still need to do a live sometimes this week, but I don't know when.
Well, if I jump on the William Barr Grand Tableau, because I got quite a few Grand Tableaus to get through. Let me know if you want to join, and I'll send you the invite. I'll text you first.
Okay.
So we're up for it. But thank you, everybody, and we hope you have a great week. Bye-bye.
We've got Johnny's channel next week.
Johnny's next week. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.